Hey there guys, gals, and non-binary pals, GM Potter here. Welcome to my channel where I review books and bookish things. I try to upload on Thursdays and alternating Tuesdays, health allowing of course. And today we are getting into a book on writing, which I thought would be kind of fun, as it is NaNoWriMo month. I am kind of whiffing out on that a little bit. My health just hasn't been great, and I haven't been inspired. Like, I have a story that I want to tell, that I feel like I need to tell. I just haven't had the oomph, the kick to sit down and tell it. So, that being said, I thought we would go over a book on writing, one that I found particularly useful in my writing, and that is Writing Without Rules: How to Write and Sell a Novel Without Guidelines, Experts, or Occasionally Pants. So, let's get into it. Alrighty, now this book came out in 2018 and it has a 4.17 on Goodreads. I would give it a solid 5 stars. For writing advice, it is brilliant, it's witty, it's charming, and most importantly, it is informative. So, this book, I would say, is very definitely a manual. Sorry, I had to rescue my coffee from my kitten. I do not need caffeinated cats. So, like I said, this book is ideal for people who are a bit of a chaos goblin. That being said, it is mostly for pantsers or plantsers. If you're not familiar with the term, you have two main writing groups. You have a planner, someone like Tolkien, who plans everything out, every minute detail, the history, the backstory, all of that, just plans it out and works within a framework that's tightly crafted and tells the story. And the characters are motivated by a history that's already been written. Nothing is to chance. That is your planner. And then you have a pantser, who sits down to write and just writes. And just comes up with everything on the fly, by the seat of their pants, so to say. And then you have someone who's kind of in the middle, and that's a plantser. Now, before I read this book, I was struggling with how to be one or the other, because I didn't realize that you could do a mixture of both. Obviously, that makes sense. Most things are on a spectrum, writing included, but it didn't occur to me until I read this book that I could do all of my planning and my forethought and my character interviews and all the things I do before I actually sit down to write. And then if I find partway through that the story is guiding me somewhere else, I'm allowed to follow that. And I'm allowed to take that and run with it and experience it and learn from it and watch these characters come to life on their own. And that's okay. And that was so freeing to come to that realization. That very, very helpful. Like I said, this book is for people who are non-type A personality. I wouldn't say that I'm type A. Probably type B. I mean, it's a dichotomy. You can be one or the other, I guess. I would say I'm a little more type A than type B. But I'm a chaos goblin, as you can see by the everything around me that you've seen in the backgrounds. I always have 1,100 million things going at once. And that's how I like it. I like a degree of chaos as I'm working. Some interesting advice from this book. I'm trying to put my notes down, because I do take notes on every book that I review. Is fantastic ideas and where to find them. That ideas are everywhere. That you can get inspired from everything. That they has the section Steal Little, Steal Big. Writers don't really steal ideas. At least once a month I'm contacted by yet another writer who wants to know how I protect my precious ideas from thieves. And essentially you can't. That if someone really wants to steal your idea, they're going to. I mean, one of the more famous ones I can think of in recent times is Stephen King's Under the Dome and the Simpsons movie. That the Simpsons movie came out and it has this big dome that covers Springfield. A little while later, Stephen King's Under the Dome, the novel, came out, and I was like, oh, is he ripping off Simpsons? Well, no, the book had been planned long in advance. He'd been writing it since, I think he said in the introduction, since the 70s, and that every now and again, authors will come up with the same idea. And it doesn't necessarily mean that someone's stolen it. And they're two completely different stories. With the exception of the dome, there's nothing alike between them. One of them is the government and just Simpsons follies, and then then Stephen King's is aliens or interdimensional beings. It's been a while since I read that one. I was very sleep deprived when I was reading it because I couldn't put it down. And Stephen King-esque, unsettling, nausea-inducing awfulness in the best possible way. I say this, I love that book. I fully plan to read it again. But yeah, this one has so it's got these unconventional tips, and it's got, like, beware of scams. Content mills and freelance platforms like Upwork are rife with folks who will ask you to write a free sample as a job interview. Very often the free sample is the piece they needed to be written in the first place, and once you supply it, they either disappear or inform you they aren't hiring you. Which, unfortunately, I have fallen for that scam. It was on a paid platform. And luckily I was able to threaten legal action, and they gave me my money back. But it was a paid platform, and like they promised to teach you copywriting, and I'm like, okay, copywriting, I can make some money writing and do that while I'm writing full time and like live by my pen in a very romantic Jane Austen kind of a way. And it was just a scam. I'm not going to say, for legal reasons, I'm not, nor can I say the name of it, but if you've been on Facebook, you've probably seen ads for them. They do not have a great rating with the Better Business Bureau. They do not have a great rating on Trustpilot, which I was young and dumb. This was several years ago, and I didn't think to check. So, yeah. Beware of scams, definitely. And so this one is brought to us by Writer's Digest Books. They're the ones who come out with the big writer's market every year with all the agents that are soliciting manuscripts, and publishers that are taking unsolicited manuscripts, and like all these things. It's the book on writing, which every time I have a book to shop, I buy, and so far nothing has come of it. But it does have some good ideas for self-publishing and how to avoid scams in self-publishing. So if you are a writer, if you are an author, and you really want to make a go of it, and you're not sure how to go about the business of writing, I highly recommend Writing Without Rules. So, should you read this if you are a writer, if you are interested in writing? Definitely yes, 110%. Have you read Writing Without Rules? Are you a writer? How's your NaNoWriMo going? Mine's not going great, like I said. But I'd love to hear about yours, hear about your stories, hear about what moves you and what motivates you. That's always something that I'm interested in, is other authors' processes. So let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!